I can't believe you're saying this, I whispered, feeling my throat tighten as Emma stood in front of me. Why him, Emma? Why Ryan? She kept staring at the floor like the tiles had answers she didn't want to give me. I'm sorry, she said softly. I think we want different things. Different things? I stepped closer. He's my cousin. You know what this means to me. Look at me, Emma. Please. She didn't. Not once. The silence felt like a blade cutting down my chest. Ryan leaned against the doorway with that stupid smirk I had seen since childhood. Come on, man, he said. Don't make this dramatic. We just clicked. It happens. It happens? I snapped at him. You planned this. I trusted you. Both of you. Emma flinched at my voice. I didn't plan anything. I feel safer with him. Safer? My voice cracked. After everything I did for you? After all the nights you cried on my shoulder? She whispered, I'm sorry, again, and every word felt like another punch. My mother, Linda, stepped in from behind me. Emma, sweetheart, are you sure about this? You know how much he loves you. Mom, stop, I muttered. Please. Linda touched my arm gently, but I pulled away. I didn't trust myself to be touched. I felt too close to breaking. Ryan shrugged like he was bored. It's not a big deal. People fall out of love. I glared at him. You didn't take her because you love her. You took her because you wanted to beat me. He smirked again. Maybe both. Emma whispered, please don't fight. I didn't want it to end like this. Then why are you doing it? I asked. Tell me the truth. Just once. Tell me why him. She finally raised her eyes, but they were empty. He makes me feel chosen. The words shattered something inside me. Chosen, so I was what? A backup plan. No, she whispered. You were good to me. Too good. I felt like I couldn't breathe sometimes. Ryan wrapped an arm around her, pulling her close like I was already gone. Let's go, Emma. We're done here. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt like it was collapsing. Emma, don't leave like this. Please. Not for him. She looked at me one last time. Her eyes were wet but determined. I'm sorry. Goodbye. When they walked out together, the air left the room with them. I sank onto the couch, gripping my hair. Why him? I kept repeating to myself. Why him? Why him? Linda knelt beside me. You don't deserve this, sweetheart. You're worth so much more. I can't stay here, I muttered. Everyone knows. Everyone will talk. You don't have to run, she said gently. You just need time. Time won't fix this, I whispered. I need to go. I need to get away before I lose myself completely. She tried to stop me, but I stood up, grabbed my bag, and walked toward the door. Where will you go? She asked. Anywhere that isn't here, I said. I can't breathe in this place anymore. When I stepped outside, the cold night air hit me hard, but it felt cleaner than the house I left behind. I didn't look back. I couldn't. All I knew was one thing. I would return only when I became someone they could never break again. As I walked into the darkness, I promised myself that the pain they gave me would become the fire that rebuilt my future. When I first arrived in the new city, the only thing I owned was a half-torn backpack and a heart that felt numb. I took whatever job I could find, and most days ended with me staring at a cracked ceiling, asking myself why I was still breathing. One morning at the warehouse, a guy beside me groaned, dropping a box. Man, this place is killing me, he said. You knew? Yeah, I replied quietly. Just trying to survive. He laughed. Name's Jason. If you don't quit in a week, you'll outlast half the guys here. I don't plan on quitting, I said. I don't have anywhere else to go. Jason studied my face. You sound like someone who got kicked by life real hard. I didn't want to talk, but something in his voice felt honest. I left home, I muttered. Bad breakup, he guessed. I froze. How'd you know? He shrugged. You got that look. Like someone ripped out a piece of you. I sighed. She left me for my cousin. Jason blinked hard. Damn. That's brutal. It was, I whispered. I still feel it every time I try to sleep. Well, he said, lifting another box, people like that always fall eventually. Trust me. You'll rise, man. His words stayed with me the whole day, like a small spark in a dark corner of my chest. During our lunch break, he sat next to me again. You planning on staying in this job forever?
No, I said.
But right now I don't have much choice.
You always have choices, he replied.
Maybe they're small, but they add up. You got skills?
I don't know, I muttered.
I never thought about it.
Jason chuckled. You don't look stupid.
You should take some courses. Learn something. Move up in life.
I can barely afford food, I said.
You think I was born rich? He asked.
I took online classes at night.
You can start small.
I looked at him, surprised.
Why are you helping me?
He shrugged.
Because you look like someone who needs a push before you drown in your own head. That night, lying on the old mattress in my tiny room, his words echoed again. Before you drown in your own head. He wasn't wrong. I had spent weeks replaying Emma's last look, Ryan's smirk, and my mother's worried voice. I hated that they still lived in my mind. The next day at work, Jason nudged me. So? You think about it?
Yeah, I said.
Maybe I'll try something.
Good.
Start with something simple.
I nodded.
I don't want to stay broken forever.
You won't, he said firmly.
Guys like you don't stay down. Over time, I found myself talking to him more than I talked to anyone in months. He became the first friend I made after losing everything. Some evenings would sit outside the warehouse, watching cars pass. You ever think about going back home? He asked once. Not until I become someone they can't look down on, I replied. He smiled. That's the spirit. Pain can build you if you let it. And for the first time since the day Emma walked away, I felt something shift inside me, like maybe my life didn't end back there. Maybe it was just beginning. When I stepped off the bus and smelled the old roads of my hometown again, my chest tightened, not with pain this time, but with something heavier. Maybe resolve. Maybe fear. I didn't know yet. I walked straight to the small clinic near the square. Mia worked there now. I hadn't seen her in years, but she was the only person I trusted enough to face first. When I entered, she looked up from the counter, froze, and then blinked like her eyes were lying. No way, she whispered. Is that really you?
It's me, I said quietly.
Hey, Mia. She rushed around the desk. You actually came back? You disappeared like a ghost. I thought you'd never return.
I wasn't planning to, I admitted.
But life changed. I changed. She studied my face. You look different. Stronger. Calmer. What happened to you out there?
Pain, I said with a faint smile.
It grows you whether you want it to or not. Mia shook her head.
I'm still shocked.
You didn't even call.
I didn't know what to say, I replied.
How do you tell someone you're falling apart? You could have told me anything, she said softly. I was your friend.
I know, I whispered.
I just couldn't come back until I felt like someone worth coming back as. Mia folded her arms.
And now?
Are you here to stay?
For a while, I said.
Enough to face what I ran from. Her eyes softened. You mean Emma and Ryan?
I swallowed.
Word travels that fast. She sighed. In this town? Faster. People talk. They always have.
I looked away.
I didn't come to hear about them. So you don't want to know anything? She asked, raising an eyebrow. I hesitated.
Not really.
Maybe a little. Mia let out a breath.
Fine. I'll tell you what I know.
Ryan's business, it's not doing well. He lost a major contract last year.
I kept my face calm.
Really? That's unfortunate. She noticed the tiny twitch in my jaw. You still care?
No, I said quickly.
But I remember how proud he acted. It's strange seeing things flip. She nodded slowly. And Emma, she hasn't been the same. People say she cries a lot. Looks tired. I felt something shift inside me, something ugly and sad at the same time. I don't wish pain on her, I murmured. I just wish she never gave it to me. Mia touched my arm gently. You don't have to pretend with me. It's okay to feel something. I don't know what I feel, I confessed. Part of me wants to move on. Part of me wants to see them. Part of me wants nothing at all. That's normal, she said. You went through hell.
I survived, I replied. Barely.
But I did. Mia smiled softly. So what now? Are you planning to face them?
Not yet, I said.
I need to get used to being here again. Well, she said, you're not alone this time. I'm here. Her voice steadied something inside me. Thanks, Mia. It means a lot. She nodded. Just don't vanish again.
I won't, I said.
Not this time. Walking out of the clinic, I inhaled the evening air. The town looked the same, but I wasn't. And sooner or later, they would see that too, that I didn't plan on seeing them that day. I was only walking through the market, trying to remind myself how normal life felt. But when I turned the corner near the bakery, I froze. Emma and Ryan stood there. Emma's hand was gripping a bag, knuckles white. Ryan was talking about something, but the moment his eyes landed on me, he stopped mid-sentence. Emma slowly turned. When she saw me, the color drained from her face. You're back, she whispered. I breathed in steady, forcing my heartbeat down.
Yeah,
I'm back. Ryan stepped forward like he needed to protect something that wasn't even his.
Why?
You didn't say anything to anyone. I didn't think I owed you an announcement, I replied calmly. Emma swallowed hard. You look different.
Life does that, I said.
How have you two been? Ryan scoffed.
We're fine.
Great, actually. Emma glanced at him, and her eyes told a different story. Something tight, something strained. I kept my voice even. Good for you. Ryan crossed his arms. So what are you doing here? Passing through?
No, I said.
I'm staying for a while. Emma's fingers shook. You're really staying? Yes. Her throat bobbed. I didn't think you'd ever come back.
I didn't think so either, I said.
But things change. Ryan stepped closer. You think coming back will fix anything?
I'm not here to fix anything, I replied.
Especially not your insecurities. His face twitched. My what? You heard me. Emma whispered, please don't fight.
We're not fighting, I said.
We're talking. Ryan glared at me. You're acting like you're above us.
I'm acting like myself, I answered.
Maybe you're just not used to seeing me like this. Emma stared at me, her voice barely audible. You seem calmer.
I am.
You seem stronger too. Life teaches you how to hold yourself together, I said. Ryan scoffed again, but the sound was weak.
So what?
You come back, looking different, and expect us to be impressed.
I don't expect anything, I said.
Your reactions are your own. Emma stepped forward slightly. You really changed.
People do, I said.
Especially after betrayal. Ryan's jaw locked. You're still hung up on that?
No, I replied.
But I'm also not pretending it didn't happen. Emma flinched, and a small ache tugged in my chest, but I didn't let it take over. She whispered, I never wanted to hurt you. Then why did you? Her lips parted, but she couldn't answer. Ryan's voice broke the silence. Look, we moved on. You should too.
I did, I said.
You're just late to noticing. He swallowed. Don't try to sound superior.
I'm not trying, I said.
I'm just no longer the person you walked over. Emma's breathing turned shaky. You really don't hate me?
No, I said.
I don't waste energy on hate anymore. She blinked rapidly. You've grown. I nodded. You haven't. Ryan clenched his fists. You think you're funny?
I think you're threatened, I said.
He went silent, his eyes flicking to Emma as if asking for help, but she wasn't looking at him. She was staring at me like she was seeing a ghost of a life she threw away. You two seem tense, I said. Ryan stiffened. We're fine. Emma whispered, we're trying.
I nodded slowly.
Trying is good. Ryan stepped back, lowering his voice. Just stay out of our business. There's no business of yours I want to be in, I said. Emma looked at me, her eyes full of something that felt like regret. It's strange seeing you like this.
It's strange seeing you like that, I replied.
They didn't ask what I meant. They didn't need to. One look at them said everything. The cracks were already there. And they knew I saw them. I wasn't planning on visiting Ryan's family, but Aunt Claire had called, insisting I stop by. When I arrived, she opened the door and froze. Oh, it's really you, she said softly. Hi, Claire, I said, trying to sound casual. She stepped aside. Come in. Please. Her voice trembled slightly. I followed her into the living room, and she offered me a seat. It's been a long time, she said. Too long, I replied. How have you been? She avoided my gaze, fidgeting with a tea towel. Well, it's complicated.
I can imagine, I said lightly.
Her hands shook as she poured tea. Ryan, he's not doing well. I raised an eyebrow. Oh? She sighed. His business, it's collapsing. I tried to warn him, but he wouldn't listen. I see, I murmured. My chest didn't tighten the way it used to. It felt satisfying in a quiet, strange way. I hate to say it, she continued, but Emma, she's not happy either. She cries more than she smiles now. The words hit me harder than I expected. She regrets it. Claire nodded slowly. Yes. She often asks me if she made the right choice. I don't know what to tell her. I leaned back, keeping my voice calm. It sounds like things aren't as perfect as they pretend. They never were, she whispered. I think they thought they could escape what they did. I nodded slightly. It seems karma has a way of catching up. She looked guilty, twisting her hands together. I never wanted to be part of it. I wish someone would talk some sense into them. You're telling me this for a reason, I said gently. I just wanted you to know the truth. I didn't know how else to say it without hurting you further, she admitted. I stayed quiet for a moment. Life was doing its work, unraveling the web they had built. I didn't need to intervene. Later, I met Mia at the cafe. You won't believe this, she said, lowering her voice. Ryan borrowed money from some dangerous people to keep his business afloat. He's on the edge, really. Dangerous people? I asked, a faint smirk forming. Mia nodded. Yes. And Emma, she's miserable. She can't handle all the stress, and she's always afraid of him. Some nights she doesn't even sleep properly. I ran a hand over my face. So, their perfect life is falling apart on its own. Mia smiled slightly. You don't have to do anything. It's happening naturally. I leaned back in my chair, sipping my coffee slowly. I can't believe I used to hate myself so much over them. And now, my lips curved slightly. Now life is proving the point for me. Exactly, Mia said. You've changed. You don't need revenge. You just exist. And watch it all unfold. I nodded, staring out the window. Funny how things work. I thought I needed to fight, to plan, to get even. But apparently, I didn't need to do a thing. You survived, Mia said softly. You moved on. And that's enough. I let her words sink in. It is enough, I admitted. They'll get what they deserve. Naturally. And in that moment, I realized I felt no anger, just clarity. Karma was already in motion. I didn't have to touch it. I was finally free from the urge to hurt them. Life was doing it for me. The knock at my door was soft, almost hesitant. I wasn't expecting anyone, least of all Emma. I froze for a moment before answering. Can we talk, please? Her voice broke slightly, and my chest twisted. I stepped aside, letting her in. You want to talk now? I asked quietly. She nodded, glancing at the floor. I need to apologize. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I stayed silent. My hands were in my pockets, my mind racing. Part of me wanted to yell, part of me wanted to run. But mostly, I just watched her. I chose him over you, she whispered, her voice trembling. I thought he could give me a better life. I thought I'd be happier. I was wrong. So wrong. I didn't say anything. I could feel her shaking, the weight of her guilt pressing against the walls. Tears ran down her cheeks. I cry every night, thinking about what I lost. I keep imagining your face, your hurt. I can't believe I let you go for him. You really think talking to me now will change anything? I asked finally, my voice low, calm. I don't know, she said, looking up at me through her wet lashes. I had to try. I can't keep pretending I'm fine. Her confession hit me harder than I expected. I remembered every laugh, every tear, every time I thought we were unbreakable. And now, she was broken. You hurt me, I said quietly. Do you understand that? She nodded violently. Every day I do. Every single day. I didn't respond. Watching her crumble, seeing the regret in her eyes, was strange. Almost intoxicating, in a way I hated admitting. I keep asking myself why I didn't see what I had, she continued, her voice catching. Why I thought someone else could replace you. You were everything to me, everything. You think telling me this makes it better? I asked. No, she whispered, shaking her head. It doesn't. I needed you to know the truth. I can't undo it. I can't change what I did. I leaned against the wall, letting her words sink in. The woman who once held my heart was now kneeling before me, crying, exposing every regret she had buried.
And yet,
I felt nothing but a quiet, hollow calm. "Do you hate me?" she asked softly, as if fearing the answer.
I don't,
I said honestly. "I don't hate you anymore." Her eyes widened, and a sob escaped. You really don't."
"No," I repeated.
"But that doesn't mean you can come back. That doesn't mean I'll forgive everything." She shook her head, clutching her chest.
"I know. I had to tell you.
I had to face the truth. Even if it destroys me."
I nodded slowly. "It does. And it should.
You need to carry this guilt for what you did. That's the only lesson you'll remember." She looked at me, tears streaming freely.
I understand. I'm so sorry."
So sorry."
"I know," I said softly.
"I know." She turned to leave, but I didn't follow. I let her go, feeling the weight of the past finally settle. When the door clicked shut behind her, I sank onto the couch. The room felt emptier than ever, yet strangely lighter. Watching her broken, knowing she could never hurt me the same way again, it was a strange freedom. I didn't hate her. I didn't want her back. But the echo of what we once had lingered, haunting me quietly. And I knew it always would. I didn't expect him to find me so quickly, but there he was, Ryan, standing in front of my apartment, fists clenched, face red. "You're trying to take her back, aren't you?" he barked the moment I opened the door. I raised an eyebrow, keeping my tone calm.
"Take her back?"
"Ryan, I'm not sure what you're talking about." He stepped closer. "Don't play dumb. You think I don't see the way she looks at you? You want her again, don't you?" "I want nothing from her," I said steadily. "You're imagining things." He laughed, bitter and harsh. "Imagining?
I've got eyes."
"She talks about you, thinks about you, and here you are, acting all calm and superior. Admit it." "I don't have to admit anything," I replied. "And you should really control your temper before it embarrasses you further." His jaw tightened. "Embarrass me? I've got this all under control. You'll see." I watched him closely, noticing the slight tremble in his hands, the tension in his shoulders. Something had changed. He wasn't as confident as he used to be. "You're drowning, aren't you?" I asked quietly. "In debt, in stress, in your own mistakes." He froze, and then a bitter laugh escaped. "Drowning? What do you know about drowning? You disappeared. You left her, left me to deal with everything." "You left me to deal with everything, too," I said softly. "But I survived. You barely kept your head above water." He glared, but his eyes betrayed him. "I expected her to. I don't know, settle down after the rush faded. She's always been impulsive, but I thought she'd respect me. I thought she'd." "You thought?" I interrupted, letting the word hang in the air. "Ryan, that's pathetic. You thought life would work itself out while you sat there waiting for someone else to make you feel secure." He opened his mouth, then closed it. He swallowed hard. You don't understand." "I understand enough," I said. "Enough to see how weak you've become. How fragile everything you built is." His fists dropped slightly. "It's not my fault. You think I wanted this? I did everything I could." "You did everything except take responsibility," I said. "Blaming Emma, blaming me, blaming everyone else. That's all you've done." Before he could respond, Mia stepped forward from behind him. "Ryan, stop. You're embarrassing yourself." He froze, eyes flicking to her.
"Mia."
"No," she said firmly. "This isn't just about you. Stop acting like everything is someone else's fault. Face it. You're losing control, and you need to accept it." He glared at her, but his voice faltered. You don't understand." "I understand more than you think," Mia said. "And you need to step back before you destroy whatever's left of your dignity." He looked at me one last time, defeated and angry, his pride shattered. "This isn't over," he muttered, and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. I stood there for a moment, letting the silence fill the room. Mia shook her head. "Pathetic."
"Yeah," I said softly.
"He really is." For the first time, I realized how completely the tables had turned. He wasn't untouchable anymore. The cracks were showing. And I was watching it all unfold that I was sipping coffee at the cafe when a man approached, sharp suit, confident posture. "Are you Michael?" he asked.
"Yes," I said cautiously.
Can I help you? He smiled warmly. I'm Harris. Mr. Harris. I've been following your progress for a few years now. I blinked. You know about me? Enough to know talent when I see it, he said. I have a proposal for you. A leadership position at one of my local firms. High responsibility, excellent pay. I shook my head slowly. I appreciate it, but I'm not sure I'm ready to jump back into all of this yet. Coming back here still hurts. He leaned forward slightly. Pain sharpens a man if he lets it. I paused, staring at him. Sharpens a man? Yes, he said. You survived betrayal, hardship, and loneliness. You learned. You adapted. That pain, it gave you strength most people never see. I swallowed hard. His words struck something inside me I didn't expect. Strength. Not anger. Not revenge. Strength. I don't know if I'm ready, I admitted. Being back here, facing the people who hurt me, it's difficult. He nodded. I understand. But sometimes, the hardest places to face are where we grow the most. You have the chance to rebuild, to show the town, and yourself, that you've become someone unstoppable. I looked out the window, seeing the streets I'd once walked with a broken heart. Ryan, Emma, all the memories. I felt a strange pull. Fear. Hesitation. But beneath that, a flicker of excitement. And you think I can handle it? I asked quietly. I don't think. I know, he said firmly. I've watched your journey. You're ready. All that pain, all those years, were preparing you for this. I ran a hand through my hair, exhaling slowly. It won't be easy. I'm still me. Vulnerable. Angry. Sometimes unsure. Exactly, he said, smiling. But now you've learned to control it, to channel it. That's leadership. That's power. That's you. I looked at him, feeling something I hadn't felt in years, a sense of possibility. All right, I said slowly. I'll do it. I'll accept your offer. His smile widened. Good. You won't regret it. And more importantly, you'll start reclaiming the life you were meant to live. I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. Finally, a path forward, not just survival, but growth. A way to rise above the people who had once broken me. Thank you, Mr. Harris, I said sincerely. I won't waste this opportunity. You won't, he replied. Remember, pain is a tool. Use it wisely. I nodded, letting his words settle inside me. For the first time in a long time, the town didn't feel suffocating. It felt like a battlefield I was ready to conquer. And for the first time, I realized I wasn't just coming back. I was coming back stronger. The news came quietly, like a whisper that grew into a scream. Ryan's business had officially collapsed. Clients pulled out, contracts vanished, and his name was suddenly toxic. I didn't rejoice, it felt too strange for that, but I noticed the satisfaction in the edges of my mind, the quiet knowledge that life had caught up with him. That evening, Mia called. Michael, you need to hear this. Emma left the house. Ryan's yelling, threatening, drunk. He's losing it. I ran my hands over my face. Of course he is. He thought he could control everything, and now, I trailed off, letting the thought settle. A knock at my door startled me. When I opened it, there he was, Ryan. Disheveled, reeking of alcohol, eyes red and desperate. Michael, he slurred. I need help. I stepped aside. Come in. My voice was calm, almost too calm. He stumbled into the apartment, collapsing onto the couch. You won. Are you happy now? I didn't answer immediately. I watched him, the once proud man reduced to tears and shaking hands. My chest felt heavy, but not with triumph. Just emptiness. I lost everything, he cried, banging a fist on the table. I worked, I planned. I thought I had control. And now? You did have control, I interrupted softly. You just chose to throw it all away. He looked at me, confusion and anger flickering through his haze. What are you talking about? You made your choices, I said. Emma, your pride, your debt, it was all you. No one forced you. His lips trembled. But, she left. I didn't expect. You didn't expect reality, I said quietly. You thought life would bend to your will. It doesn't. He buried his face in his hands. I don't know what to do. I can't fix it. I leaned back in my chair, keeping my voice steady. That's your problem, Ryan. You can't fix it because you never learned responsibility. You blamed everyone else, and now you're paying the price. He looked up at me, tears streaming down his face.
Please?
I'm begging.
Help me.
I can't survive this. I felt a fleeting thought, a whisper of the old anger inside me, a desire to see him grovel even more. But it didn't last. I realized I felt nothing. Not satisfaction, not glee, not even hate. Just calm.
You had a chance, I said slowly.
You had a life, a partner, opportunities.
And you threw them all away.
I can't fix what you destroyed yourself. He sobbed quietly, curling into himself. You're heartless.
I'm not heartless, I said softly. I'm free.
Free from your mistakes, free from Emma, free from the chains you put on my life. You need to live with what you chose. Ryan didn't respond. He sat there, shaking, broken in ways only he could repair. Mia appeared behind him, arms crossed. He's not going anywhere, Michael. And he won't get help from us. He has to learn this on his own. I nodded. Exactly. Watching him crumble, I finally understood something. Revenge isn't about making them suffer. Revenge is living well, and letting life take care of the rest. Ryan's empire was gone. His pride shattered. His life unraveled.
And I
was no longer the boy who had lost everything. I was the one standing. The power had shifted.
Completely.
And I didn't even need to lift a finger that I wasn't expecting her. Not here, not today. But there she was, standing at the edge of my office doorway, eyes red and hesitant. Michael, can we talk? She asked, voice barely above a whisper. I leaned back in my chair, studying her. I suppose we can.
She stepped inside slowly. I need to say it.
One last time.
I nodded, letting her continue.
The room felt heavy, as if the air knew what was about to happen. I destroyed everything, she said, tears slipping down her cheeks. I destroyed our life, and I destroyed mine. I thought I knew what I wanted, but I didn't. I hurt you, Michael. I hurt you more than I can ever explain. I stayed silent, listening. Her words hung in the air, painful yet oddly relieving. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, she continued. I don't even know if I deserve your acknowledgement. But I had to tell you. I had to face the truth of what I did.
I exhaled slowly. You didn't just hurt me, I said quietly.
You tried to take everything I cared about, everything I trusted, and you shattered it. Her lips trembled.
I know.
And I hated myself for it. Every day, I hated myself for choosing Ryan over you.
For being so blind.
For thinking someone else could make me happier than you ever did. I let my fingers drumming on the desk slow. Did you ever think about how I felt?
I did,
she whispered, voice breaking. Every night. I replayed it 1,000 times. I asked myself why. Why him? Why not you?
I leaned forward slightly.
Do you want to know the truth? She nodded, voice small. Yes.
I hated what you did, I said carefully.
I hated the betrayal, the lies, the way you chose someone else while I was still yours. I hated it with every part of me. Her shoulders shook as she sobbed quietly. I understand. But, I added, my voice softer now, I don't hate you anymore. She froze, looking at me like she didn't believe it. You don't?
No, I said. I don't.
I hated your actions, Emma, but not you. Holding on to hate, it only keeps me chained to the past. And I'm free now. Her tears fell harder, and she nodded slowly. I'm sorry, she whispered again, her voice breaking with raw regret. I gave a small, calm smile.
I know.
And that's enough. She took a step back, wiping her face.
Thank you, for hearing me.
For letting me speak.
You needed to say it, I said. And I needed to hear it.
But this conversation ends here. She nodded again, trembling. I'll never forget, and I'll never stop regretting.
I know, I said quietly.
She turned, walking slowly toward the door. Each step echoed softly, and when she disappeared, the room felt lighter, almost empty. I exhaled deeply, a weight lifting I didn't know I carried. No victory. No triumph. Just peace. For the first time, I realized freedom wasn't revenge, and it wasn't winning. It was letting go. And I finally did. I sat at my desk, looking out the window at the town I once ran from. The streets were familiar, yet different now, like I was seeing them through new eyes. Mia appeared behind me, holding 2 cups of coffee. Thinking again? She asked, setting one in front of me. Always, I replied, taking a sip. It's hard not to. Everything that happened, it changed me. She leaned against the desk, smiling softly. You've come a long way. I can see it. The pain, the betrayal, you turned it into something powerful. I did, I said quietly. It wasn't easy. Some days I wanted to run again, to hide from it all. But I didn't. I stayed. I faced it. Mia nodded. And now? Now, I said, glancing at her, I feel free. Not just from them, from the past, from anger. Free to actually live. She smiled wider. You know, life has a way of giving second chances, not with everyone, but with yourself. And you're taking it. I chuckled lightly. You always know what to say, don't you? Someone has to keep you grounded, she teased. I leaned back in my chair, thinking of my mother. I hadn't visited her in months, but I knew it was time. I think I'll go see Mom today. She's worried about me, and I've missed her. Good, Mia said. Family matters. You can rebuild that too. I will, I said firmly. I want to make amends, to show her I'm stronger now. That I'm okay. Mia hesitated, then said softly, You've grown so much, Michael. And maybe there's room for happiness too. Someone who's been there all along, quietly watching you rise. I looked at her, feeling a warmth I hadn't allowed myself in years. Maybe you're right, I said. Maybe I've been so focused on the past that I forgot what's ahead. She laughed gently. Well, the future isn't going to wait for you. You have to step into it. I know, I said, smiling for the first time in a long while. And I will. Later, I signed the contract for the job Mr. Harris offered. Leadership, responsibility, a chance to build something meaningful in the town that once broke me. It felt right. It felt like my life. I texted my mother, I'm coming home. Let's talk. Her reply came almost instantly, Can't wait, son. I set my phone down and breathed deeply, the weight of years lifting slowly. I didn't come back to break them. I came back to rebuild myself. And I finally did. I glanced at Mia, who smiled knowingly, and for the first time, I let myself believe that life could be gentle, that pain had made space for peace, and that I was finally ready to live fully again.